Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. I'm Samin Siddiqui and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I have with me former Sri Lanka's first-class cricketer, now commentator, Sir Roshan Abeysinghe. Sir, how are you? How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you very much, Zamin. It's a pleasure to be on your channel. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much.
Well, as far as, if you're asking how I am, I'm good. Like everyone else in the world, we are, fighting this virus. And in Sri Lanka, I must tell you that success has been far greater than losses.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sir. Here comes my first question of the interview. How was your experience visiting Pakistan recently in December when Sri Lankan team visited after 10 long years?
Well, I must tell you that it was a memorable experience. Memorable for many reasons. I also had the great privilege of going to the Wagah border between India and Pakistan. Well, that's outside the cricket because you wouldn't expect to see all that unless you come to a country like Pakistan, and it happened in Lahore. But besides that part of the story, I thought I was very impressed with the cricket Pakistan played and the country, the infrastructure, and how the people supported. The security was magnificent. So it was a great experience. And unfortunately, Sri Lanka couldn't repeat their T20 performance in the Test series. But other than that, I thought it was a very good visit for everybody.
Okay. Okay. You have covered Pakistan versus Sri Lanka series for many years in the UAE. Either there were empty stadiums there or very less crowd. So cricket coming back to Pakistan, how important was it for the Pakistan cricket overall and for our players to play in front of the jam-packed stadiums?
Well, I think there is nothing greater in a sportsman's life than being appreciated by your own home crowd. And as you correctly said, Pakistan was as foreign as a visiting team when they played in the UAE. I mean, they played in Abu Dhabi where there was hardly any people in those, in steamingly hot conditions. Sharjah had a few. Dubai didn't have anybody. So, I don't think they were all pumped up and the adrenaline was working when they played. But in Pakistan, to be playing in front of their own crowd, to be playing in their own home soil, that's a special feeling, isn't it? To be appreciated, to be mobbed, to be loved, and to be cheered by your home crowd, and also see if you go to Karachi, you go to Lahore, you go to all these grounds, you would see that Pakistan as a country has so much of rich cricketing culture. I mean, each stadium, each city is so different. So to have those names on the honors board, to achieve something at those grounds, it's a feeling that any sports person would always want to have, especially when you're representing your own country.
Okay, you have followed all these three countries cricket: Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and the West Indies. Which of these from these three have the best natural talent but lacks fitness?
Well, I don't think anyone lacks fitness because today the modern game, demands fitness. If you don't have fitness, you can't be playing the modern game. So there is no question of anyone playing without fitness because every team is quite stringent in their fitness regime, and they would ensure that they set certain standards. But in terms of talent, I think
Okay.
each team is very unique. If you look at the West Indies, you look at Sri Lanka, you look at Pakistan, they all have their rich talent. So it's very difficult to pinpoint, one country per se on that.
Okay. After the retirement of Kumar Sangakkara, Tilkaratne, Dilshan, and Maila Javardhana, obviously they were the backbone of the Sri Lankan cricket. So, and after that, after their retirement, Sri Lankan's team performance was tipped a little, but now they are improving. So, what do you think went wrong after the retirement of these three, that Sri Lankan's team performance was quite bad for a few years after that?
Well, you got to understand that you're talking of some legends. You're not talking of just ordinary cricketers.
Okay.
You're talking of Sangakkara and Mahela Javardhana and Dilshan, who scored close to 40,000 international runs. That has, thousands and thousands of international games. So it's not easy to replace such cricketers. Any country would go through a transition, unless, of course, you got a, good supply of talent coming through. Now, in Sri Lanka, the problem wasn't talent. It's about stepping into those big shoes that Dilshan Sangakkara and Mahela Javardhana had created. And even today, with Rangana Herath gone, because Rangana Herath was the one who really put his hand up when it came to replacing Murali and winning games. So it's a situation most countries face. Look at the West Indies, for example. They were the undisputed champions in the 70s and 80s. South Africa struggling. England struggled, and they're now gradually getting back. Australia had its ups and downs. India now seem to be solid. Pakistan had their moments with Yunis Khan, Misbah, and those guys going. So it's a cycle that happens. So it's how a team reacts and how they responds to a situation like that would tell you how a team is bound to perform.
Okay, how personally do you see Timot Karuratne as a captain of Sri Lanka, and how long do you see him playing again? Like how long you see him playing for Sri Lanka?
Dimut Karunaratne is relatively young. I mean, he must be 30. He's got a good 5, 6, 7 years left in him, because today, with players being so fit, age is only a number. In terms of captaining, I think he has surprised quite a few. I don't think he was in anyone's plans as a captain when he was in the side. He was purely there as an opening batsman, but I believe he's stepped up to that challenge quite well. He's brought in a lot of stability. He's been well received in the one-day side and the test side. So I think he's doing quite well for himself. And it appears that he's in for the long haul.
Okay. Sir, actually, your video is quite pausing a little bit. So can you restart your camera again, please?
Restart the camera?
Yeah, I mean, turn it off and switch it again. Switch it on again. That's what I mean.
Is that okay?
Yeah. No, your camera, it's yeah, now it's appearing on my screen. Okay. Name few Sri Lankan cricketers playing currently who would become world-class players in the future. A few players from the current team who can
Well,
become
well,
world class.
straight away, you remember Kusal Mendes. I think he's someone who will go a long way. Oshada Fernando, who carried his bat through, you remember in Pakistan with that 100 in that second test match. He's someone special. Kusal Pereira, who played that absolutely match-winning innings against South Africa. I see him as someone who will go a long way in terms of batting. Then you would have seen, you'll recall the young right-arm leg spinner, Vanidu Hasaranga, who's come through leaps and bounds in the shorter format. Hopefully he will be playing Test cricket. Lahiru Kumara, a young fast bowler. I mean, these are the cricketers that come to my mind straight away. And also young Lasith Ambuldenia, the left-arm spinner, who's been expected to do a very big role as a youngster who doesn't really have too much of experience. So there are quite a few very, very talented young cricketers who I believe will go a long way for Sri Lanka.
Okay, recently, sir, your video, it's still freezing. Please, can you do something about it, please? Actually, it's freezing.
That's the internet.
A lot.
It freezes because of the internet. It's nothing to do with the camera. It's the internet. Camera is fine.
Okay, I can hear your voice absolutely okay, but the camera, it's quite freezing.
That's the internet.
A lot. Okay.
It has nothing to do with the camera.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Now, this is my second last question from you. Recently, Umar Akmal unfortunately got banned from international cricket for 3 years due to fixing allegations on him. How shocking was it for you personally? Because you have covered his career and he was such a talented cricketer. And how can the ICC stop all these activities? Because it's increasing day by day.
Yeah, look, I don't want to go into areas as to how ICC can stop that, because I believe the ICC has put in a lot of controls there. So ICC is working hard. They're just making sure that they're trying to take corruption out of the game. So that's a good thing. But having said that, if I'm allowed to dwell a little bit more on Umar, I think Umar Akmal is a very sad story. You see, to me, when I saw him as a youngster, as a 19-year-old in Sri Lanka, I thought that he would break a lot of records for Pakistan. I thought he was as good as any young batsman at that time. And I felt that he could have been Pakistan's answer to Virat Kohli. I really, really believe that he is special talent. And it is very unfortunate that a career that should have gone upwards is going in a different direction. Personally, I have rated Umar Akmal very highly, and I continue to rate him very highly.
Okay.
I don't know whether he's been managed properly or whether there is something wrong. But all I can say is he's a special talent that Pakistan has very, very unfortunately not being able to make full use of.
Obviously, Ramiz Raja also expressed a lot of disappointment when this all happened, because he also believed in Umar Akmal so much. Okay, Roshan, here comes a last question. Do you think T20 leagues are the major cause of all this fixing, in your opinion? T20 leagues.
If it is regulated, I can't see it happening. You see, any game for that matter which is on television has potential to be fixed, as we all know. If you look at history, fixers generally pick on games that are on television because that's where they make their money, according to what I've heard and what I've read. But every game, to me, has the potential to be fixed because games are not spared. It's about making illegal money, which the world cannot condone. But having said that, if leagues are being properly regulated, if proper controls are put in place. All I feel is that ICC can, to a very great extent, minimize the potential danger of that happening. I'm not sure whether they can eradicate it.
Okay. Okay. Here's my last question from you. Your message to all the fans of cricket and the rest of the people around the globe. Your fun message.
Well, my one message at the moment, as I talk to you, talk to Pakistan, is that the world needs to support Pakistan cricket. That's my message, because the world of cricket needs to come, rally around Pakistan, because Pakistan is a country that has really great culture, rich culture of cricket. I mean, if you look at India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, they're such great cricketing nations. Besides, of course, the Australians, the New Zealanders, England and South Africa, West Indies. Besides all that, this is the subcontinent. And the subcontinent is where there is so much of craze and love and, following of cricket. So I believe that, one message to everybody watching, like what Kumar Sangakkara said, the president of the MCC, that teams need to come and support Pakistan by visiting Pakistan. So that would be my message, because at this point of time, though the world is, going through an unprecedented experience with this COVID-19. So I, in conclusion, wish to convey a message where I wish everybody all the very best. I pray that they will stay safe, and hopefully cricket will resume very quickly. Until then, we need to, bide our time and obey the authorities and ensure that we support them.
Okay, Roshan, thank you so much for taking your precious time out for this interview. And guys, this is all from here. And Roshan, goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.